All right, let's do it. It's Thursday, October 29th. I don't know, about 4:45 in the evening. And here I am, Eric, occasionally known as the Big E Arnold, to give you the college football plays for this weekend, Thursday through Saturday. In the sports barn, I keep saying that because, God, we're upwards of now 260 subscribers. I'm pretty sure of which 220 of them are saying, well, aren't we going to talk about Bob Alinsky? No, not in this video, we're not. Originally, the whole thing was supposed to be out picking the winners in sports. And then I made a couple videos about Tony Bobolinsky because I wanted to, was irritated and wanted to get the story out there. And next thing you know, I got 10,000 people coming through the barn. Yeah, which I think mostly is a good thing. I like sports. I'm not 100% sure I want to talk politics all the time. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't made my mind up yet. What about that World Series? Baseball, we fiddled with baseball for what, a month and a half before football started. And I guess the World Series ended about the way you think it would, with the Tampa Rays having their ace grooving, totally shutting down the Dodgers. And then here comes the an analytical manager after 73 pitches to pull him out of the game. 73 pitches. Back in the day, guys would throw 150 pitches. They would pitch complete games. Sandy Koufax would do that sort of thing. Bob Gibson, Steve Carlton, on and on. But not now. Oh my God, he gave up a hit. Oh no, I've got to go to my 17 different 100-mile-an-hour relievers. And of course, immediately the guy gave the game up that he brought in, which I thought was deserving. So I really dislike the way they play the game of baseball right now. So, that's over. Congratulations to the Dodgers. They had to win sooner or later. That's such a great team. So this was their year. Hey, it was a pandemic year. I mean, can you say it counted? All right, a lot of games. Let's get to it. Tonight we got an NFL game, and I just went ahead and circled all these just to save time. There's 31 games up here, so I didn't want this video to be 40 minutes. So we just circled some stuff ahead of time. We got the Panthers at home tonight against the Falcons. The Falcons last week invented another new way to lose. This is a team that just invents ways to lose. This is the best 1-6 team in history, and that's an insult, by the way. So the Panthers, what did they do? They lost but covered. Our boy Matt Rule. I was talking to one of our top subscribers this week, and I said the word Matt Rule, and he thought I was talking about a quarterback or something. Matt Rule, he's the coach of the Panthers. He's the best coach you've never heard of. All this guy does is cover numbers. And he made Temple good. That's impossible, and he did it. I wish he was still there, frankly, but, onward and upward. So we like the Panthers. I don't know what else to do with that. You're only laying a point. They just played these guys. They just played the Falcons down in Atlanta like 2 weeks ago, and the Panthers shoved the Falcons all over the field. Now, I think what's happened is that the Falcons have got some of their pieces back, and the Panthers, I think, are, missing some offensive linemen. Sorry about that. But I think that those injuries are reflected in the line. So, we're only laying a point. And we got, I think the Panthers are simply the better team. So that's the way we're playing that. We're going to play the Panthers. All right, college football. This is Thursday night. South Alabama at Georgia Southern. We'll take South Alabama. They're quietly building a nice little season there in the Sun Belt. And we'll take the 3.5 on the road. And then this one here, for those of you that are paying attention to whether it's a top pick or not, this is a top pick. Colorado State at Fresno. Colorado State's a 3-point favorite. This will be Colorado State's opener. I don't know why they didn't play last week with everybody else. Probably some virus deal. But Fresno State did play last week. They played last Saturday, and they got smacked around pretty good by somebody. I think it might have been Hawaii. So now they got to come back. You know, Colorado State, they're all fresh and ready. We're ready to go. Here we go. And there's a cat. Let's see. You know, for you people that are new, this is a barn, and you know, we have all kind of things just wandering around, and there goes a cat. So at any rate, Colorado State, they're fresh. Fresno State coming off, what, 4 days of rest? And they wouldn't look good to begin with in their opener. We like this one pretty much. Colorado State minus the 3 tonight. Now, Friday. This one feels a little just because a couple years ago, I know I bet Minnesota coming into Maryland, and Maryland kicked their ass, which was kind of annoying. But maybe circumstances are a little different now. I think Maryland's probably worse than they were 2 years ago, whereas Minnesota's better. Minnesota, you know, they're on the cusp of doing something out there in Minneapolis. They didn't, you know, they're coming off that loss against Michigan, and that's kind of sad. And Michigan pretty much dominated them. But this is on national television on a Friday night. PJ Fleck, much the superior coach in this matchup. I think he's going to be well aware that this game's on national TV, and he wants to make sure his team puts its best foot forward. I think they're going to be going all out tonight or Friday night for a big win. So we'll go ahead and say it's a best play. Minnesota bouncing off the Michigan loss to go out and just whack. I mean, Maryland just lost by 40 points to Northwestern. Northwestern, yeah, right. I mean, I don't think Maryland's very good. So there. Also Friday night, last Friday night we had a nice winner with Tulsa. It was the best play. Friday night again, Tulsa's coming back in the American against East Carolina, laying 17. We like Tulsa. We like Tulsa. They played very well last Friday night for us, and we think that, again, that's what we're going to get is a good effort by Tulsa. So they're quietly building a very good season there in the American. East Carolina, they're just kind of so. They're not very good. So we'll lay the 17 there with Tulsa. And then lastly on Friday night, out in Wyoming, Wyoming's a 1-point favorite against Hawaii. There's a cold front out there. I mean, this game's going to be played in the, I don't know, probably in the mid, somewhere between 25 and 35. Do you really want Hawaii? Do you really? I'll just go ahead and say Wyoming here just based on the weather. All right, what's next? Saturday. You know, my model, I use a lot of historical norms and such, things like the previous game, what happened, how did it play out. You know, Michigan coming off a big win, the model likes that sort of thing. Michigan State played like shit. So the model's like all over Michigan. But 24.5 points? You're laying 24.5 points to Michigan State? This is a rivalry game. These two teams hate each other. I just can't see it. I mean, that's a lot of points. Michigan State, I mean, this is kind of almost a job-saving game for Mel Tucker. You know, it's getting late early there, Mel. You lose and don't cover 24.5 to your rival Michigan. They're greasing the skids for you already, buddy. You're out. So you better play well Saturday, and I think he will. I mean, I think this team is going to keep it close within the 24.5. we put a hunch bet on it, 1 star. 1 star, that's kind of the hunch bet, which actually is doing pretty damn well. It's these model games that suck, but the hunch bets are doing so far okay this year. I don't know what that means exactly, but Wake Forest, we're going to just lay the 11 up at Syracuse. Syracuse stinks. We'll go ahead and take Wake Forest for 2 stars there. San Antonio at Florida Atlantic. San Antonio had a real nice win last Saturday, late night. They were down in the 4th quarter to Louisiana Tech, and they rallied. They just ran them boys over and won the game. And I think that's what we're looking at here is that San Antonio can consistently move the ball. We like teams that have the ability to run the ball. They're more consistent. They don't have games like Mississippi State had there earlier in the season at Kentucky, where he turned the ball over 19 times and scored 2 points. You know, running teams don't have that stuff happen to them. So we like San Antonio there. Top play here. We're getting off West Virginia. They've done nothing but burn us. We're going to go ahead and we're getting the 3.5 at Morgantown with Kansas State. You know, right now, this is just kind of a matchup of 2 teams do different things. Kansas State finds ways to win these games, and West Virginia finds ways to lose them. So we're going to go ahead and say Kansas State goes in there. You know, we're getting 3.5, so maybe we lose by a field goal. That'd be fine with us. All right, Clemson laying 31 against Boston College. I only have 1 star on this, but man, this feels better than that. We like Clemson. I play these look-ahead matchups different than most people, I think. The conventional wisdom is you're looking ahead to next week where Clemson is at Notre Dame. I just don't know. You know, I think in college it works differently, where the college coach has more control over the team and he can make them do whatever he wants them to do. And if he says, don't look ahead to next week, he has some control over them, I think. And I think what he's going to want to do here is make sure his team is razor sharp going into that Notre Dame game. They didn't play well against Syracuse. Swinney wasn't happy about it. The reporters made sure he knew about it after the game, and he really wasn't happy about that. So I have a feeling Swinney is going to have it out for Boston College Saturday. They're only laying 31. This team scored 70-some points against Georgia Tech the other week, and Georgia Tech and Boston College are pretty similar. So Clemson. Coastal Carolina they're 3-point favorites at Georgia State. Coastal Carolina, the best team you've never heard of, I guess. They're in the top 25. We'll just keep playing them. I mean, they won by 2 touchdowns without their starting quarterback last week. Now they're getting him back. This is a good team. And we're only laying 3. We'll take Coastal Carolina. Let's see what we got here. Big matchup in the American. A big matchup. Your undefeated Cincinnati with Luke Fickell, who Subscriber X hates. They're 6.5-point favorites over Memphis. We like Cincinnati. They can run the ball. I'm not so sure Memphis can. 1 star on that. We like Cincinnati. Purdue, Illinois in the Big Ten. Not big Lovie Smith fan. You know, we're not a big fan of these NFL coaches that go into college late in their career and they're just kind of collecting a paycheck, which kind of feels a little bit what Lovie's doing. You know, the results haven't been great at Illinois. They certainly didn't look good against Wisconsin last week. Purdue coming off a nice win over, I believe, Iowa. So we'll lay the 7 here at Champaign. We'll take Purdue. This is the best play, the 3 stars on Temple, and here's some high-level analysis for you. I can't remember why. So we'll take Temple plus the 4. That's a good play. Georgia, this is a top play. They're laying 17 at Kentucky. I mean, this number is getting out there. The steam is all over this game. For those of you who don't know what that word means, steam, that means money. Heavy action is coming down on one side, in this case, Georgia. So the line gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's all the way up to -17. I mean, Kentucky was terrible last week against Missouri. So maybe that's the thinking that Kentucky just sucks. I don't know. Kentucky strikes me as one of these teams. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And if they play anywhere near good, they're going to cover that number easily. But we'll let the model do what it wants to do. And we'll go ahead and say Georgia -17. That's a top play. Rice 2 stars, getting a 1.5 from Southern Miss. No commentary there. Here's the other end of the big game. Notre Dame hosting Clemson next week. Major game, playoff-worthy game. They're down at Atlanta at Georgia Tech as a 20-point favorite. We're going to say Notre Dame goes ahead and covers that. Same reasons. You know, they're coming off a nice win at Pitt. Let's see if they can just keep running the ball like they did. Well, they didn't really run the ball that much, did they, against Pitt? I don't know. I've been unimpressed with the Notre Dame team, but we're just going to let the model do what it wants here and just lay the 20. We really don't think Georgia Tech's very good. I think that's our saving grace. Iowa, only a 2.5-point favorite here against Northwestern. I know Northwestern smoked Maryland, and Iowa's coming off a loss. And I know Iowa is that's a program in somewhat of a disarray. They've gotten dragged through the political mud here this offseason, and they're all beat up internally. But man, I mean, Iowa Northwestern, and Iowa's at home, and I'm only laying 2.5. You know, maybe this is a trap, but I'll fall into the trap. It's a hunch, 1 star. Give me Iowa. Okay, SEC fans, here we go. LSU at Auburn. Auburn coming off a huge win at Mississippi last week. But I don't know they're that impressive. I just not that impressed with them. LSU started the season not well, but I think what they've done now is Orgeron, what I read was he basically told he has Bo Pelini. I didn't even, Bo Pelini, that's a Big Ten guy that's a maniac, basically. He's their D coordinator, and I think Orgeron just basically told them, hey, simplify the defense. We got great athletes. We just need to give them something simple to do, and they'll execute it. And now LSU's playing a lot better. So we are going to lay the 3 at the Plains. Is that what, did I say it correctly? The game's at Auburn, but we're going to take the road team, the road favorite, LSU minus the 3, 2 stars. UAB 1 star there. I think that number's too low. Louisiana Tech, they got beat up last week by San Antonio. And now UAB, that's one of those really powerful mid-major guys like Lafayette, Appy State, Coastal Carolina. So, less than 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to drop in there and they're going to play well and cover that. 1 star there. All right, here's your big game in the Big 12. Texas, Oklahoma State. Texas is at Stillwater. This is, right now, Oklahoma State has the inside track to the Big 12 title. Really, right now, they have the inside track to the playoff. They just got to keep winning. They're 3.5-point favorites. Basically, we just view this as a step on your dick game for Texas. I'm sorry, Oklahoma State. The stage is getting bigger and bigger as you're getting closer and closer to the playoff. And I don't see Oklahoma State as playoff worthy. I think Texas goes in there for 2 stars and covers the 3.5. All right, late evening slate here. Boise State at Air Force. Boise State a 2-touchdown favorite at Air Force. That seems a little bit high. However, Air Force is in flux. Their star quarterback has been, I don't know if kicked off the team is the right phrase, but he's he's just out. You know, the dude's decided to transfer. I don't know what happened there. And he was good. He was good. And now it's going to take Air Force a little bit of time to find a new trigger man. So, and the quarterback's the key guy in those triple option attacks. So, Boise State, they look like they're as good as always. They were an easy winner last week. Air Force got beat by a bad San Jose team. We'll lay the 2 touchdowns here with Boise. 1 star here, Charlotte at Duke, getting 9.5. I mean, Duke's not great this year. This might be a nice. I mean, let's put it this way: Charlotte wants this game a hell of a lot more than Duke does. So we'll go ahead and take the motivated Charlotte team to keep it close. SEC, Alabama, your #1 team in the country, versus Mississippi State. I got that right. Alabama is ranked 1. I don't even look at the rankings right now because they don't matter. They just don't matter. But I think they are ranked 1. At any rate, they're 30.5-point favorites against Mississippi State. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of points, but, you know, it's a conference game. This would be a spot where Saban would probably keep his foot on the pedal. He wants to make sure that he's running up style points in case he ends up being that 1-loss SEC team that did not win the SEC title. Then he will get into the playoffs because of the style points. So we'll go ahead and lay the 30.5. I don't know you ever go too far wrong playing Saban. Plus, we think it's still a little soon there for Leach at Mississippi State. He's still weeding out some malcontents and trying to make his system fit with what he's got there. That could take another year yet before he gets it the way he wants it. Okay, we left this one uncircled. This is the game, well, at least for some of my subscribers, us people that went to Ohio State, and some of our buddies that went to Penn State. So Ohio State at Happy Valley, 11-point favorites. What do we think here? Well, I tell you, Penn State always plays Ohio State tough up there at Happy Valley. I could, you know, run down the litany of games where we've had super teams gone in there and struggled. But this is all different. I mean, for one thing, one of the reasons we have trouble going in there, it's always a night game. It's always, you know, a whiteout or whatever the hell they call that. 100,000 people, more than 100,000 people. And that's an ugly place to play. And I view that as a compliment, Penn State people. That up there at Happy Valley, has the reputation within the Big Ten as being the toughest place to play. Those are some, to use Barack Obama's language, those are some bitter people up there, clinging to their Joe Paterno ways and whatnot, and they're angry, and they make sure you know it. It's a tough place to play, but they're not going to be there. There'll be like 5,000 of them. I think that's all that Governor Wolf is letting in. So there'll be like 5,000 dudes there. And all we got to do is cover 11, and we got Ryan Day, who has no trouble whatsoever running up the score. And let me take a moment here to apologize to Ryan Day. I called him out for apologizing to Scott Frost for running up the score last week, saying, "What are you doing apologizing? That's passive-aggressive bullshit." I get it now. You know, he has to do it. We got some weak sisters in the administration that probably look down upon that sort of thing. You shouldn't score that late touchdown, you know, the president of the university or somebody like that. So he's got to do it, but he doesn't mean it. It's a fake apology. We get you, Ryan. Go ahead. You apologize. No problem. So we like Ohio State here to go ahead and just blow out James Franklin and Penn State and cover the 11. Why not? All right, what's left? Arkansas, one of our good subscribers is an Arkansas alumni. They are quietly having themselves quite the season down there in the SEC. The resurgence of Arkansas. This is a rivalry game, actually, Arkansas, Texas A&M. And we're going to go ahead and say Arkansas keeps it close. for a 1 star. Down here, Florida, Missouri coming off the huge win against Kentucky. I don't know. We're just going to say they're going to fade here, and they can't maintain that excellent play. And Florida's been off. So I think Florida might be healthy, ready to go. Covered at 12.5, 1 star. North Carolina, 2 stars there. Why not? They look like they have a really good team this year. 7 doesn't seem like a lot of points to lay in judging by how many points Carolina's been scoring this year. We like this one a lot. We like this one a lot here. Late night, Billy Napier and Louisiana Lafayette only laying 16.5 at Texas State. Texas State, that's just a so team. That's just, your bottom third of the 1A teams. And Louisiana Lafayette, this is a team that won at Iowa State. This is one of those excellent Sun Belt teams, a team that can really score. They've had a lot of tough games here so far early in the year. And we think this is a spot where you're getting that weak sister. Finally, you're getting a team you can really handle. And it's what we kind of think is going to happen here, that they're going to see that weak sister and go, oh yeah, boom, and blast those guys. So 3 stars there. And then out here, late last game of the night, BYU is laying 28.5 against Western Kentucky. I don't know what else to do here but just lay the huge number with BYU. I mean, those guys have just been running it up all year long. And, 28.5. I mean, Western Kentucky, Marshall beat those guys by like 4 touchdowns. So Western Kentucky, not a very good team. BYU has been pretty consistent. They, score big points. They put up big yards. It's not like it's luck. So they're used to this. I mean, it seems like their whole schedule is consisting of bringing in these Sun Belt teams or these Conference USA teams that aren't used to the mountains and just pounding them. This will be like their 4th opponent like this, and I think they've covered 3 of them. I made that up on the fly, but that's pretty close. Anyway, that's what you like there. So, I guess our top plays are Colorado State tonight, Minnesota tomorrow, Tulsa tomorrow, and then on Saturday we got Kansas State, Temple, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Lafayette, and BYU. All right, well, that's our plays for Saturday, or the college football plays. We'll have the NFL for you tomorrow. Whoops. And I don't know when we're going to make another political video. I honestly don't. I'll probably make at least one more, if not one more before the election. I guess I should make my official predictions. I still think Trump's going to win. I know, the betting markets and the 538 and all the other stuff says that he's going to get killed. The polls, and I had a video that said that the polls have historically, they're not always wrong, but I think they're wrong this year. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make a prediction video. I'll tell you why the polls are wrong, and yeah, that's fun. I know what I won't do is I'm not going to put that guy Bobulinski in the title, and then I'll be inundated with people coming through here. When are we going to talk about Bobulinski? We're not. That story's run its course. So anyway, thanks for being here. We appreciate all the new subscribers. Hopefully a few of you like college football. And if you don't, like I said, maybe we'll make some political videos for you. Anyway, but we do appreciate the interest. Hit the like button. That always makes me feel good. If you really want more of this content, go ahead and subscribe. But from me to you, good college football, good gambling, and good evening.